Valley View last year put on a performance called The Lamb. It's an Easter performance that brings together the Old Testament Passover meal and celebration and the culmination of Jesus Christ and how he relates to that. And from my understanding from Ruben and Colin, this is a performance that isn't widely done in this fashion. We had two stages set up here, one of the Passover meal and the celebration, and up here was the Last Supper. And there was a back and forth going on of how the Old Testament and what Jesus came to do was brought together. This year we're doing it again. These guys have a vision for this. They're dialoguing with other people in the community, the Jewish community, as well as some others. And they're going to do that again this year. We're going to do that again this year as a church. And Colin and Ruben, why don't you guys come up here? These guys want to just give a plug, an introduction, a plea, so to speak, this morning. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys for a couple minutes.
So things are moving along pretty well, and I think in general, as we look at doing it again, we're kind of still amazed that we pulled it off last year. I mean, as Ed said, we've looked and looked and looked, and you can't just go download or buy a script for this. And it's not quite the approach that anybody's taken. Somebody said, so it's a passion play. I said, well, it's kind of a prequel to a passion play, because our stuff basically ends right when Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ movie begins. In fact, the first lines in The Passion of the Christ reference the Passover celebration. But anyway, I can talk too much about this, but it's really exciting. I know as we're again looking at it, God is continuing to teach me through His Word, because that is our source material. He's just teaching me a lot of things, most recently, the power of the resurrection. So we just had a few things to talk about. And okay.
What Ed said is exactly right. It's our production. It's the church's production here. And last year we relied so much on the church as a whole, and it came through wonderfully, just amazingly well. And this year we're looking to get a lot of people back that performed last year. And looking at the script, we're probably about 90% there. We've got a few people that we'd like to get some more spots up for the disciples in the upper room, some servants and stuff like that. But the behind the scenes aspect of the Lamb last year was very amazing. We didn't really have a good idea going into it how much support and manpower we needed. And so Ruben and I are coming up here and asking that if we haven't talked to you yet, if you were involved last year and if you'd like to get involved again this year, please let us know. Like I said, I think the behind the scenes support is really, really vital for us to get going this year early. We have individuals that are leading some of the key behind-the-scenes groups like the food and the cooking. Bill, can you stand up real quick, Bill, if you're in here? Bill Provencher, here he is. We've got, let's see, sets and props, Will. Table settings, Beth Boyer. Costumes, Kelly, Tish, Leslie. Soundboard, Christian. So all these behind-the-scenes people need help. Need assistance.
And the beauty of that is that we've got people that really stepped up last year and led these things when we really didn't know the scope of it. Now they have a really good idea of the scope of it, and they're going to be here each night. So if you can just help one night, that's the kind of help we need to just come along. And these are all people that are really good at directing and coordinating that kind of thing. Of course, some of the stuff with costumes and sets is done beforehand. You don't even have to be here the week that we're doing this in April. So I'll tell you, it's a real blessing to those people too. If you go up to them and say, I can help out on Thursday, And I know this church, I know a lot of you. If you're asked individually, you'll help. If you could really bless the people that Colin just mentioned, or if you don't remember them, mention it to one of us. I'd like to help this night. And that's really nice to know who's going to do what nights that we need to ask people specifically, and we can make plans.
Again, we put out a practice schedule a couple of weeks ago, and if any of you that are interested in the practices, let me know. If you're not sure exactly what timeline you're looking at, just let me know. But
and I think too, if we've talked to you about being in the cast, we start practice in 2 weeks. It's a good time right now. Colin's got his list with him. Just check and make sure that we know what your plans are. If you haven't decided yet, where you're at on that. And we would like to really button that up so that when we go into rehearsals, we know who's doing what part. And one more thing.
And we also, newly hot off the press as of yesterday, we have the invitations for the Lamb this year. They should be located where, Mr. Ruben? Out there in front? Okay.
2 tables in this lobby, and there are some on the ever-popular coffee connection table in the fellowship hall.
And we ask you to take some of these. There's going to be a lot of reprints, but hopefully you'll take some today and start handing them out to friends and co-workers, stuff like that about the Lamb. I don't know about Ruben, but I had several people from my work attend and are excited about coming back this year and bringing some of their friends. So word travels, but go ahead and pick some of these up and take them to your friends, neighbors, coworkers, and stuff like that. It'd be great.
Tell me about that little blue box with the letter F.
I don't know what that letter is. I guess it's called Facebook. I've never seen it before. So you can look at us on Facebook and check us out there, or you have the regular Discover Valley View website address, which people like me go to.
And if you're a power Facebook user or an addict, and you have suggestions for funky old guys on improving their Facebook page, you can forward those to, I guess, me, and we'll work on that.